Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy. The bad thing about Roger Goodell press conference is that no single topic receives thorough treatment. The good news is that plenty of topics received at least a cursory mention. During his recent meeting with reporters after the conclusion of league meetings in Atlanta, Goodell was asked for an update regarding the investigation sparked by allegations from former Dolphins head coach Brian Flores that team owner Stephen Ross offered to pay $100,000 per loss in 2019. There is not any update on that, Goodell said. He added that Mary Jo White, the supposed independent lawyer who currently is handling multiple independent investigations for the league, continues to look into the situation. How hard can it be? How much time can it take? Ross made the offer or he didn't. Flores claims he did, although speaking directly to Flores raises potential complications given that his lawsuit contends, among other things, that his firing was motivated by his resistance to this request and efforts to blow the whistle on it. White has indeed, we're told, interviewed Flores. He cooperated fully with the investigation in April. From there, White can pursue any leads the Flores may have identified, specifically other witnesses to the offer. Back in February, the league-owned media conglomerate reported that an unnamed witness did indeed corroborate the claim Flores had made. Likewise, emails, text messages, and others relevant documents from the time period in question can be gathered and reviewed. Eventually, Ross and other key members of Dolphins management would be interviewed. It really shouldn't take very long to do all of it, unless Mary Jo White is so occupied with other NFL work that she doesn't have time to get it done. We've been saying for years that as it relates to White and other supposedly independent investigators that there's no true independence. The lifeblood of large corporate law firms, years ago I worked for one in Pittsburgh, is what they called cost insensitive clients. These firms want to be hired and hired and hired again to work on significant projects that will entail minimal scrutiny of the massive monthly invoices generated. The notoriety of projects like these also will get the lawyer's name mentioned in various media platforms, which will help the lawyer and her firm more work from other cost insensitive clients. The point is that in order to continue to get these assignments, the lawyer has to be sufficiently savvy to understand what the client wants and to gently nudge the findings that way. Most contestants' issues have multiple plausible outcomes. This one obviously does. It's a binary choice. Ross did it or he didn't. Although some think the league won't hesitate to find Ross guilty of making a specific offer of cash for losing games, the broader context could make such a finding unwise. From the Flores lawsuit to the potential impact of such a declaration on the external scrutiny the NFL currently is experiencing to potential criminals' liability under the Sports Betting Act, to possibility of a class action lawsuit against the league on behalf of anyone who placed bets on the Dolphins in 2019 to the league's stubborn and unrealistic insistence that no team ever tanks. Chances are that the NFL just wants this one to go away quietly. If so, chances are that the independent lawyer the NFL has hired to investigate will find a way to do just that, eventually and inevitably. So this is how I feel. I think they're trying to string this case along. They're trying to let the case basically die down. You know, if the case dies down, then they could just move on to other things, because they're really trying to, they moved it to arbitration so they can get rid of it, but you just can't get rid of it. You can't. You can't. You can't just get rid of it, Roger, even though you're trying to. But Stephen Ross is guilty. See, that's why they're taking a long time, because they're trying to find holes in Brian Flores' story, and they're not finding no holes because they wouldn't have pushed it to arbitration if it had holes in its story. They would have made an example out of Flores and put it in open court. But since they found out what he said is true, and maybe, and All this is allegedly and fair use act. But if they found out that, I'm telling you, so it's crazy, man. So like I'm saying is that it's crazy how they do this to us, but everybody else they just give them a pass. Everybody else gets a pass though, right? Is that how it is? That's what they do. They force us to have to lose games, knowing that ain't gonna affect them. It's gonna hurt us in the long run. Cause let's say he would have took that deal, and let's say they would have lost and he got fired. Then what? Excuse me. Then what? Then what? He wouldn't have got no other job because he's a black man. See, us as black men, we have to work 100 to 200 times harder. We have to be perfect at every job. Perfect. Can't have one stain, can't mess up anywhere, or that's our ass. So Stephen Ross is guilty, in my opinion. And all this is allegedly, by the way, in Fair Use Act. But I believe they're stringing this along and trying to keep it hush because they're not finding any holes in Brian Flores' story. Brian Flores told the truth. And see, these pink folk, they scared. Roger Goodell is scared because he got to deal with this other fire over here at now that John Gruden has got his case moved to open court. NFL is in trouble. It's in trouble. They're finna get exposed. See, the fans, majority of them are racist and prejudiced, so they don't give a damn about what black people pain is. They don't. White people always tell you, man, they're always complaining. Well, how about you get hanged? How about you get killed in front of your people? How about you be in slavery for 400 some years? And how about you get lied to about your history before slavery, where you were a king and a queen, or you were a carpenter, or you were a farmer, or you were an astronomer? You had all of these things for your people, but let's say your history was taken away. What if your history was submerged and all they show is you being a slave? That's the only time they can show black people in the light. And now, how about you deal with affirmative action or deal with not being hired in the workplace? Huh? Hold on, I'm gonna show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all something, and this is basically towards the NFL. This is to the NFL and what they did. Oh, I think this is it. Okay, I'm gonna show y'all something. I want to show y'all something. I want kids to see this. Look at this. What's that? Fair use at fair use at. That's black head coaches in the NBA. You see the diversity? You see that? That's the NBA. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 15. That's half the league. They ain't show you the black execs yet. But see, we need owners and black execs. But see, they don't want black people to be empowered. That's why they didn't show you Joe Dumars or talked about him getting the assistant basketball of head operations because they don't want black people to think that big. They don't want that. There's a lot of black people out there that's millionaires, but they don't want to show you because they want to continue making you just think, I only can be an athlete. I only can be a rapper. I only can be a worker. That's the only way I can get millions of dollars. That's a lie. So thank you guys for listening. Like, comment, subscribe, share this, hit that notification bell to select all to receive upcoming notifications. And if y'all love what y'all hear, y'all can go to the description box, hit the link to the Cash App, donate as much as your heart desire. When we go live or premiere video, you guys can also super chat. And you guys, if you don't do those things, make sure you leave a super thanks. Thank you for listening. We out. Deezy.